Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the creation of the universe, the cosmos, according to my theory, how I think it might have happened based on the research I've done, based on all the books I've read, based on everything that I put together. Because theories, it's kind of like building a puzzle. You obtain information from what science knows to be true or close to true today and you acquire the equations and the theories and the concepts, you put them all together, and you formulate your own theory. And well, first of all, a hypothesis, and of course, a theory cannot exist without the scientific method of reasoning. You create a hypothesis, you test your hypothesis, you observe, and you see if their hypothesis was verified or not. And that's how it should be because there's a difference between creating a myth, which is not true, from creating a hypothesis, which could be true. Now, if we think of the universe, the cosmos, the multiverse, the sea of quantum fluctuations, 1 minus 1 is 0, plus 1 minus 1 is 0, plus 1 minus 1 is 0. So at the end of the game, you have zero energy, 0. It's the nothingness. But from nothingness, somethingness can be born because we all know that the universe came from nothing. Now, if you have those fluctuations, matter minus antimatter, there's no or matter plus antimatter, then there's nothing. Zero, zero matter. But if somehow in these quantum fluctuations, like the name already says, there are fluctuations. If you separate the one from the minus one, then you get a particle and an antiparticle, a universe and an anti-universe. And that's something that I've created is that from the quantum fluctuations, you can have the creation of a universe and the creation of an anti-universe. And they separate. They exist for some time separate and they then annihilate. Oh, but we know, for example, that particles does that in fact in the quantum fluctuations in our universe. You have particles and antiparticles that are created and then they annihilate. Exactly. But even though that happens very briefly for particles, time is relative. What determines time is space, it's gravity. So what may appear to be milliseconds for someone outside of the universe may appear to be 92 billion years for someone inside the universe, which is our case. So we had a creation of a universe and an anti-universe. Now, these can be created inside some form of singularity, inside, in the middle of a donut structure. And this singularity creates a particle in a universe and an anti-universe, a matter universe and an antimatter universe. And from this white hole, this cosmic disk, because we know the universe is flat, so we know it's a disk. This cosmic disk expands. One side of the disk is for the matter universe, the other side of the disk is for the antimatter universe. The disk expands along the sides of the donut, coming from a wormhole. Literally, our universe is inside a wormhole because the pathway through which the cosmos expands and contracts is a wormhole in itself around the sides of a donut. So the cosmic disk expands and then it goes around the shape of the donut, eventually meeting again at the bottom. And what that happened is when the cosmos meets again at the bottom, matter and antimatter meet, and the universe is and then they annihilate each other. And then what happened is in the middle of the in the middle of the where the donut is, a new matter and antimatter universe is created. They expand, then they contract, and they meet again at the singularity when they return. So basically, what the particle and antiparticles do in quantum fluctuation, the universe is doing at a macro scale. It expands and contracts along the sides of the donut. So that's really what happens. Now, and that's my theory is that we live inside a cosmic structure, a cosmic disk, which exists, which expands and contracts along the sides of a donut. And what happened is, as it's making a turn on the outside, this disc generates a big hole in the middle so it can go through the sides of the donut. And then the hole, and then when they meet again, the hole is closed and the universe meets again at singularity and a new cycle, a new birth begins. The universe is cyclical and it repeats, it repeats, it repeats, and it just keep on going. Matter, antimatter, universe, anti-universe, expand, contract, annihilate, expand, contract, annihilate, like a heart. Thanks for watching.